Okay, let's go into some rank games with a random character and see what we're gonna get today. And it looks like we're playing the Reaper once again, but we do start off with a piggy bank and a fly Garrick. Now, looking at Broom on sale, we're gonna be gladly taking out another piggy bank for even more monies. How do we say no? The only problem is we do need to find ourselves another weapon. So I'm gonna take the lump of coal. With the stone, the region is looking kind of awesome too, but I'm not gonna take it. And do we go for shovel? Do we go for maximum greediness? Also bag of stones with a bunch of storage. I really want to take this, but I'm not sure how we're going to fit in our piggy banks. Unless we get rid of our fly Garrick. But that means we're more than likely going to lose. Are we going to try to maximize greed as much as possible? I genuinely think so. We're going to venture on with this. No food items, just the broom, 2 piggy banks with a tiny bit of max life. My opponent does have a health pot, I'm a power. Yeah, we're not surviving this. There's no way you survive this round 1. We have too much greed. But we'll see. We're definitely going to take our storage stone, and we're going to also take a bag of stone. I went to garlic too. Goobers could be kind of interesting here, but at the same time, I'm not sure if we do want to take it. Whetstone. Whetstone, we could keep it just in case we want to go for a katana, which I'm down for. And then we waste 1 gold rolling. And that's a big shiny shell, which I do want to take. Gives a tiny bit more of a heal. Now, do you want the garlic in for a little bit more block, a little bit more defenses? Could be kind of nice. Over the fly Garrick, which will be inflicting a tiny bit of poison. I think I'm just going to rock up with this. Rock up with this. We dig up an item. We get some extra monies. It's not going to be a whole lot of DPS. It's still 3.1, but opponent has triple weapons with a health pot. That could be a big ol' yikes for us. Maybe. And when I say maybe, I mean, yep, we're going to 100,000,000% going to lose. So the greediness is definitely kind of smashing this right now. And speaking of greediness, I really wanted either pick a pinata or dig deeper. So instead of taking Norse, please, guard power, or knife to meet you, I'm going to gamble. And we got uniquely unique. Actually, fantastic freaking skill. The only thing is I like Shelly for him. But we definitely need more storage. We need more storage, we need more survivability so we can get everything going off the rip. Now, we could go for a hero sword or even a torch. Torch could be kind of nice, actually. So we'll be taking the wooden sword and then I'm going to roll once. Now, can we be even more greedy with a box of riches? It is on sale. Maybe do take it, grab all items on sale, and then we roll again. And I really, really need the storage. So maybe don't keep our box of riches, or we sell our fly Garrick. So we're going to sell 1 fly Garrick and 1 garlic. So we can grab the storage, move this over slightly, have our wooden sword into, and our box of riches along with our garlic. Now, is this our best position of all time? Probably not. We also need to grab ourselves this bananas for our stamina. The only thing is, with uniquely unique, I don't really want to be targeting one of our weapons right now. It's either garlic or it's either stone. I'm kind of leaning more towards the stone for a tiny bit more DPS. Well, let's see if this is going to be good enough. I do see a shield and immediately regret adding in this wooden sword. But whatever the case, we do reduce our stamina cost quite a bit. And we are facing double boomerangs, and since we don't really stack up too much buffs, yeah, they're not going to be stealing any of our buffs this time around. So it feels good to smash out these boomerangs. And we're going to get here. Wait, that's a freaking artifact stone heat. We can try to go for big heat stacking type build and get a bunch of damage from the rip. Yeah, I'll be taking that. So it makes me really want to take the deck of cards, because the deck of cards can lead into heat stacking cards. So we'll be taking that. We'll be taking that. It does give us ace of spades. Well, let's take a big old banana. Let's roll once more. And I have to grab this because I want to go for superheated katanas. That sounds like a hell of a lot of fun build. Also, we should be prioritizing our bag of stones on our artifact stone heat. The thing is, should we have this set up like so, so our stone gets massive damage and then speed up that stone by quite a bit. And then it also needs to sit in more so like so. I'm also going to grab this potion belt. I'm going to grab this potion belt. Piggy bank can't really fit in unless we get rid of our fly Garrick. We don't really want to be stacking up too much poison either way. I want to speed up this stone as much as possible. So I'm going to put in a little star of courage, and I think I'm going to venture on once again. A lot of items in our inventory. But it's going to be hidden multiple times, so it should be able to stack up our heat, which should be fantastic. It's also going to increase the damage on our stone and our shovel. If we stack up 10 heat, but stacking up 10 heat with just the stone heat itself is going to take way too long. Like every 4 seconds, get 3 heats. But a 90% chance of getting that. And we're eventually going to get it. But opponent has stacked up so much HP, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to keep up with him. It's just that a little bit too long, so we want to grab all the coal we can grab. Eye lamps. Hold on a second. We almost won out. Almost won out. Just not enough though. And we could also grab ourselves artifact stone debt. I mean, when can we go double stones? We gotta take that too. I'm gonna speed that up too. Let's grab our storage. And in a deck of cards, we should be able to increase our accuracy by quite a bit too. Slow down our opponent with both of these. Inflict a tiny bit of poison. And then we move on. I'm looking at this turnip and I wish we could go for a flame up type build because that would... Actually, should have taken this over back, or over weapon. Yeah, for sure, because that would have guaranteed that we got 2 heats, so then all we need this to do is hit 3 times. We're after doing big damage though. And with the artifact stone heat, not bad. Because this already naturally goes a lot faster than stones. So every 1 second, deal massive damage. But also skill up crits on our little hero sword, which is not ideal either. We could also take the repeater too. Not sure if I really want that. Recombobulator though, we'll take it with this, and let's keep rolling. That's a heat card. We gotta take that. So we're getting some build identity for sure. The only thing is we do need a legendary Ripsaw Blade. But do we want to take the mana orb? Honestly, if we recombobulator, we can get rid of a lot of things too. I'm wondering, should we get rid of our shovel with our piggy bank? Get rid of all our econ. Is that kind of just a weird play? I mean, maybe get rid of these gemstones too. 16 golds, Fly Garrick actually. 19 golds. We could also get rid of our box of riches altogether. That is 22 gold. Do we want to sack 22 gold with our unstable recombobulator? Am I mad for it? I think I'm actually going to. Piggy banks, shovel, box of riches, all our greed going out the window. For a big old gamble. Our opponent is going to have a Turbo Shelly. There's going to be lots of heals. We need to deal massive damage before Turbo Shelly does anything. And hell yeah, we do manage to get there. What's this going to give us? Okay, Blood Goobers. It's our sands. Maybe not that great for us. It does give us time to scale up too. But I was kind of hoping for a different outcome for sure. But stacking up Vampires might not be too bad for us. Let's get Stone Badge, which will stop us from finding Reaper specific items, which isn't the worst case. But we could also take a Falcon Blade. Falcon Blade with heat stacking. I mean, a super speedy Falcon Blade with Lifesteal. That sounds amazing actually. Let's go ahead and grab more of this. I think we found our game plan. A lot of gold when we do need to be rolling though. But we could also just go for a super speedy Lifesteal and Falcon Blade. You know what? Might take the bird for this round. Take the bird for this round. We sell our Sir Sand. Dimbo's actually a really awesome card because it gives us 6 random buffs. We sell another Fly Garrick. And we are for sure taking more Vampirism. Now we could speed up our Artifact Stone Debt, or we could speed up our Hero Sword. We speed up our Hero Sword, we get more and more Lifesteal. It doesn't cost us too much stamina to do so. We place that in. We also got ourselves another Whetstone. I want to try to go for double katanas. Maybe not actually. But a Paradise Barb is going to go a long way too. Now maybe we want to apply this here too. But we do need to find ourselves some Ruby Chunks, some more Hollow Fire Lizards, so we get even more heats. But let's think about moving on with this, so we can craft up another Burning Coal. So that's going to be 4 heat. So then this only has to hit twice to get our big damage. And I am speeding up our little Hero Sword so we can get that Lifesteal when I don't have it in a Relic Case, which is madness. Instead we don't get any scaling damage or stamina reduction. We definitely need to change that. But still, it's big damage. Big damage Hero Sword. Hell yeah. And what I did want to go for is super heated katanas with Mr. Struggles. Should we still go for it? I mean, we won't be able to stack up heat unless we get rid of all this vampirism. And we're going to get a Paradise Barb. We're going to get tons of heals. I mean, super heated Falcon Blade also sounds kind of smashing. And that is Cthulhu. If we had a Chili Pepper, we can go infinite heats. But this can also give us infinite stamina by giving us a banana. But let's sell a stone. I'm not going to pass on Cthulhu because I do want to go for this Paradise Barb. And we need to find gloves. And right now is the time where we need to be rolling for gloves. I think we're going to pass on Cthulhu then. Let's sell a stone, keep rolling. Second bird for even fasterness. Being on sale and all. I really want to take it. So I'm going to sell our gemstones. But we also need the storage pretty badly too. We sell one of our whetstones. Also, another burning coal. Really a ton of items that we need quite a bit. I think for this round, we're going to sell the whetstone and we're going to grab a storage. We're going to grab a storage. We get more vampirism off the rip. And then we also need to change this around just a little bit. So we're going to take the lump of coal, or we're going to take the jinx. I think we sell one more stone and I'm just going to roll actually. Because again, we need to be finding ourselves these gloves. I'm going to sell this gemstone to keep rolling, and we just didn't find one unfortunately. We should have taken out a deck of cards. Yeah, that's on me. And I'm also going to have our artifact stone debt in beside our blood cupboard because literally that's going to be going faster. And the problem is we can get lifesteal on our stones too. But for right now, I'm just going to prioritize on our wooden sword. Or on our hero sword. And let's get going once again. Let's get going once again. Let's get our Paradise Barb going. We should be able to get tons and tons of lifesteal. We should have infinite heals. And we should be able to get crazy damage. We just need time to get our heat stacked up. Now, the only thing is, if we get stunned, we can't actually attack, so we can't lifesteal. But that's not going to matter too much. We got crazy heats, so we're going super speedy. We got that crazy heals too. We got our Paradise Barb, which is even more awesome. Now, we could take Time Dilator, which will slow down our attacks, but it will speed up everything else, which is kind of nice. Let's take out our deck of cards, so I do want to be finding more Hollow Fire Lizards. Well, let's take you and keep rolling. Another bird. All I'm seeing is birds. Let's keep rolling. All we need is gloves. Down a sec. You know what? I'll grab that. We need that storage too. That's more vampirism. We're going to be selling our health pot, and we're definitely going to be taking it. But I'm going to have to lock this. Gloves. We're going to need to roll once more. And we got it. I really want to craft up this round, but I don't think we can really afford to. Not right now, but with our setup, we're going to have our Nocturnal Lock Lifter in this spot. We should be able to make this super speedy. We should be able to increase the healing we can get from it. This should be awesome. Maybe. Should be awesome. We're also just not having this beside our blood cupboards. We want to be stacking up more bloody amulets around it, more prismatic orbs. I think that should be amazing for us. We should be able to get our crits, we should be able to get our lifesteal, but our opponent is also answering back with a ton of damage too. And it's going to come down to who's going to be able to one-shot who. And we just managed to beat him out. Just looking really, really fantastic. Now we could go enchanted weapons, which we do not want. We could also go stoned, we do have stones. So we could get a bunch of block from these stones. I mean, is that going to be that great though? Because we could take By the Holy Light and get a bunch of lamps, get prismatic orbs on sale, speed them up. I'm going to take By the Holy Light right now. Let's take our storage done. Let's grab our gloves and let's make sure we craft up this Falcon blade. I'm still going to keep our deck of cards in because I want to be looking for Hollow Fire Lasers, and we could also grab ourselves Corrupted Crystals. With each Corrupted Crystal take is going to give us 8% crit chance. But it is going to be extremely, extremely slow. Are we down for that though? One Corrupted Crystal, and we could also craft ourselves up a Shelly too. I'm not sure if we can actually really fit that in. So we might have to wait around to craft that up. Am I really going to take a Corrupted Crystal to try and inflict some fatigue damage? I think so. I'm also going to be speeding up our Artifact Stone Heat as well. Just a little bit. Because we can't have it on our Hero Sword this round. So we're going to have a high potential to lose. Since our Hero Sword's not going to be attacking as fast. But still, with the gloves on it, it's still going to be going pretty fast. So infinite lifesteal, big damage with our heat, and some crit chance too. We're genuinely looking smashing so far. And that's more heat. That's a big old happy bomb giving us a bunch of damage. Which would be kind of amazing too. But let's go ahead and grab a Corrupted Crystal. Let's grab you too. Let's roll. And we need the storage. The only problem is we kind of need to move things around just a little bit again. This needs to sit in here. We need to speed that up. And we're going to lose some lifesteal on either stone. But at least with our Falcon Blade, it's actually going to speed up our stones too. We're also going to be speeding up our Corrupted Crystals so we can get our crit chance stacked up even faster. I do want this cards in also. We should also be speeding up our Paradise Barb. What the hell am I thinking about? Not placing that anywhere near. Now, as for deck of cards, how do we fit this in properly? Maybe just something like this. We've been holding onto this Whetstone for so long that I actually do not want it anymore because we got a Falcon Blade. I'm definitely not going to be going for a Katana now that we got ourselves that Falcon Blade. So, you know, maybe hold on to our unidentified amulet. But I am going to venture on with this. We could also have this be targeting our Corrupted Crystal so we can speed that up as well. But 2.7 seconds get 8% crit chance. Yeah, that should be nasty for us. And with each bit of heats, our Falcon Blade should be doing even bigger damage. And not bad. The two stones really, really help us out quite a bit. Now we could grab ourselves the Leaf Badge to give us even more crits. Or do we just neglect this? I mean, getting ourselves some red colors and we just win the game. So I gotta take it. We gotta take it. Let's grab you too. It is the Amulet of Feasting, which is not great. Although that's a big old lamp. We got no block generation. But getting ourselves the lamp as well would literally be crazy for us. But you know what? I think we're going to sell our Whetstone and we're going to grab ourselves a custom card to try and get ourselves more speed on our Falcon Blade. But also just more prismatic orbs. That's all we really do want. Now we could switch this over to this side. because this is going to duplicate some of the buffs. It's going to speed up, stacking up our luck, because there's two ways we're going to lose. Blinds and cold stacking. Also, shields is also a pretty fantastic way for us to lose, eating up all our stamina. Because if we can't hit, we can't lifesteal. So maybe trying to increase our stamina might be a good call too. But it's not going to matter too much. Hell yeah. We could switch up to a big old hammer too. Let's grab another fanny pack though. Let's keep rolling. Do we chance a dark saber? Definitely not, but more vampirism is exactly what we need. More vampirism, more buffs, more awesomeness. And we definitely want this too. But it's going to give us a bunch of vampirism. It's going to give us increased healing efficiency as well. I would love to put a Shelly down below so it's going to be targeted by a Paradise Barb too. But I think it's going to have to sit up top. And you know what? Let's take the luck because we can always sell it back for the same price. And we just keep venturing. Yeah, we just keep venturing. Now, we are facing a snake. They're going to be going for King Goober. They're going to get invincibility. And they're going to be going for a King Spear too. This invincibility stops us from lifesteal, and that's one thing I forgot to mention as well. And it looks like that's actually going to beat us out. Wait, hold on a second. That one window allowed us to full heal. Like, literally full heal and then do our damage. I mean, isn't that insane? We only have a 60 DPS being a Falcon Blade, but opponents had invincibility for pretty much the entire fight. In terms of heals, 45 healing per second, but it's a bit skewed because once they have invincibility, we don't heal. In terms of max life, only 40 max life, and in terms of block, no block. But I genuinely think this is going to get better and better. Demonic Flask? Yeah, we don't want that. More of this, please. Then we can slot that in and have this in getting even more vampirism for us. More lifesteal on our weapons. Instead of blueberries, so we can stack up a little bit of luck too. And that's a lantern berry. So this will use up all the mana that we do have to cleanse debuff. And that literally came from our Amethyst Feasting, which I do find to be madness. And we could also stack up max life too, but I don't necessarily really do want that. But I do want this fanny pack. And I want to be speeding up our Falcon Blade even more, but we haven't really had the opportunity for it. And you trigger every 2.1 seconds. So we're kind of like, screw the banana. Let's make sure we speed that guy up. But this is like the worst placed fanny pack of all time. Lantern Berry? Using our mana to cleanse debuffs. We don't really have too much mana. We do get some from our Prismatic Orb. We do get some from blueberries. But it's going to help us stack up. It's going to help us stop being burst down with cold, poison, blinds. It's also going to help stack up some of our buffs. And it's just looking insane, is it not? Genuinely. Just absurdness. And there's our katana. It only took to round 15 to get it. Well, we're not going to be taking it. Let's grab even more storage. Let's keep rolling. And that is for heat off the rip. Allow us to get to our heat even faster. I want to take it. We've seen no eye lamps either. We could keep grabbing Jimbos as well, but I don't necessarily want it. And we need the storage. Now, if we didn't have this Blood Gooberts, I could move this back slightly, craft up Vampire Gloves, place it in here, and then have a target both a Paradise Barb along with a Falcon Blade. So what I mean is grab the gloves, place it in here, and have them turned into Vampire Gloves. We get even faster speed on our Falcon Blade. We're also kind of using our Gooberts too, though. I might have to part with Jimbo for this round. Part with Jimbo so we can have in a Ruby Egg. We can try to get to our heat even faster. Because our main win con is getting that massive damage on our Falcon Blade since it attacks twice. So getting it faster and faster is going to be just amazing. Also reflects more debuffs. That should be amazing as well. We get to our 10 heat within 3 seconds. Our Falcon Blade is going to have a 20 DPS. And then we just lifesteal for more. So we get more damage, more heals. And we're just still stacking up a bunch of heat too. Which is actually amazing. With Artifact Stone, heat is going to be going faster. And then it's just over. We do have a 100% crit chance. Now I do kind of want to see when we do get a 100% crit chance. Before I do move on. So 5 seconds in, 80% crit chance. 6 seconds in, 88% crit chance. And about 6.5 seconds. More towards 7 seconds. We get 98% crit chance. Which is kind of absurd. Let's grab way more storage for ourselves. We can move you out and place this back in. Now we keep rolling. Do we try the lamp? Genuinely, with no block, I don't think we even bother trying. Do we just take more stamina sacks then? I think so, and then we keep rolling. Now, Heart Container. We could craft up a Heart of Darkness. We could also just take this because we could end up stacking up a bunch of regen, give us a bunch of max life. I'll take it since it is on sale, and that's an eye lamp. I mean, it is 2 heat off the rip. Exactly what we wanted. The only problem I'm having is actually placing in because we do need all this lifesteal. And we could move this slightly back just a little bit. Maybe that's our play. But then we can prioritize our Falcon Blade by an insane amount. And then we can have this back in, speed up, so we can scale up our crit chance a little bit more. We sell you and this then too. And there's going to be some heat stacking for us. Well, 2 heat off the rip. The thing is, our deck of cards is really screwed right now. Jimbo doesn't look like it's going to be able to fit in again unless we do something like this. And then we're going to have a super speedy Falcon Blade. And I think that should be decent enough to... Wait, hold on a second. You almost screwed up. And that should be decent enough to continue on. For sure, the only problem is we don't get as much buffs from Prismatic Orb, but we should be able to scale up our crit chance even faster. Which is what we want. We want big crits, big damage, really, really fast. And tons of heals too. But can we keep up with opponents? Because they're also doing very, very similar things. They're going to have those red collars for infinite lifesteal. They have crazy power. They're going to be doing massive damage. But so are we. And it's going to come down to who's going to be able to one-hit who. And since they stack max life, yeah, they're going to win out. Unfortunately, that's just the way it runs out. Now, definitely do not want to craft up a Ruby Chunk, because then we lose 8 heats from the rip, which is madness. And speaking of madness, now we grab ourselves another Corrupted Crystal. Going for a kind of a heat fatigue build, which I didn't think we would be going for. One thing around still, let's grab since we're going to be stacking up quite a few heats, quite a few buffs. I think this should be kind of nice. Let's sell our little bit of luck too and grab another fanny pack. Now, we don't really want to be using our banana on our blood goobers. But I think I'm happy enough rocking on with this. We could also get lifesteal with a dragon as well. But I'm not sure if we really can. So I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave our dragon out of position. He's just basically there for 5 heat actually. Yeah, he has been buffed. I forgot there's been a patch. 5 heat off the rip, which is kind of absurd. As we get a heat stacked up, we could be able to get a crit stacked up even faster and deal even bigger damage, and we survive Dragon Burst with daggers. And look at this Turbo Shelly. With double Amethyst Wiles. Yeah, that guy went fast. He definitely was wild. Do we say goodbye to Jimbo? Well, we could do something like that, but then we lose out on our Vampirism, which not the biggest fan of. We can also try to stack up big amount of bombs, but that's something I'm not too interested in. Cards, you know what, gives us some power. That's a cupcake. How do we not take this? That's just going to be even more heat stacking for us. And that's a chili pepper. The reason why I do want to take these is because of Ramada Feasting. But it's the final round. Let's roll. I'm not going to take it. I do want to grab some storage so we can try to put in these two. But it looks like Jimbo's going to have to sit out, because I just want to stack up heat. And with our cupcake going super speedy too, we should be able to stack up even more heat for ourselves. Let's roll one more time, and that's our crits. Also, more Corrupted Crystals. I mean, we already stack up crits, so is this really going to be necessary? And since it is the final rounds, we're not going to be able to craft up a Bloody Amulet either. So I think we just need to move on. Unfortunately. Is this going to be good enough to win out? We'll have to see, because we are facing another Spike Staff type play. But they got a Corrupted Crystal or Corrupted Armor. They're going to be rocking a Paradise Burb with all these flutes around the Falcon Blade. They're going to be trying to remove a bunch of our stamina, which again is going to be a huge problem for us. But we do got a Wolf Partinger. We should be able to get a heat going. We're actually stacking up Vampirism with our Cupcake, which isn't the end of the world. That's going to give us more lifesteal. But we're starting to get a heat going, and the Falcon Blade is dealing massive damage, and it's already over. So in terms of damage, we had a 95 DPS, while opponents had a 48 DPS, and they even had some damage reduction as well. But I'm curious to see, our Fatigue dealt 7 DPS, 45 damage. 100% crit chance, not bad. 0.6 cooldown on our Falcon Blade. But in terms of heals, how much do we have? 120 healing per second. From a Vampirism, from a Nocturnal Locklifter, from a Blood Goobers. I mean, Blood Goober added 27 healing per second, which is crazy too. In terms of max life, we had 51. And in terms of block, we had 0 block. But yeah, always a super fun archetype, going for a super speedy Falcon Blade with the Relic Case, and just giving it tons of lifesteal, crit chance with Artifact Stone Debt, and just big damage with Artifact Stone Heat too, while this scales up our heat even faster. So overall, definitely super fun builds. We did survive 3 lives left. How much rank points is it going to give us? Plus 10, or rank is up to 25. Not bad. Definitely not bad. We're getting there, but I'm going to have to leave it here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I hope to keep looking for the next one. I'll see you next time. Okay, can we deal with a Staff Fire in this round 18 fight? So we're going to have crazy heat, we're going to have crazy mana, and invincibility, which literally stops us from healing. But can we bring it back? As long as they don't have invincibility, we should be able to lifesteal just enough to barely win out. That was madness. And can we deal with a Poison Frog type build with tons and tons of potions? Maybe. It's going to be a lot of poison on us. We do cleanse a tiny bit. But is it really going to be enough to win out? Maybe. We get a big damage, we lifesteal to full, and hell yeah. Unless they don't one-shot us, we'd just be able to win out. And finally, can we deal with a Moon Armor, Big Man Above Bombman, Gingerbread Jerry with Cupcake Staffs, with a Torn Bloom? They're going to be going for crazy max life stacking. This could be interesting. But as long as we get a big damage, all this max life isn't going to do a whole lot for our opponent, unless they stack up crazy max life. And they definitely do not do that.